Hey guys, in today's video I will show you my top 5 mistakes that everyone has to avoid when it comes to powers or exponents. So let's get into this. The first one, say you have been given this expression and you need to raise it to the third power. Typically, what many people do, they just write something like this. So they just write this coefficient 2 in front of x, they leave it as is, and they raise x to the third power, which is basically wrong. So when you have expression raised to any power, so all that means that everything what is inside the brackets has to be raised to this given power. So namely in this case 2 has to be raised to the third power, so do x. Meaning that this expression, so this is big no, that's incorrect. So basically this one means 2 cubed times x also cubed. And all you need to do is just work out this expression, which basically simplifies to 2 to the cube power, just 8x cubed. And that's gonna be your final answer. So this one, not that one. Another mistake comes from the first one. Say you have been given the same expression, and sometimes people write equals 6x cubed. What they did, they just multiply 2 by 3. So again, which is wrong. So all you need to do at this point, so you need to raise to this power. And that becomes 2 to the cubed, which is 8, which is completely different from 6. So pay attention when it comes to these terms that have this coefficient in front. So again, as a quick recap, people either just forget to raise this number, this coefficient to the power, and they just write this coefficient as is, the first mistake. Or second one, they just multiply this coefficient, this number, by this power. So again, instead of doing this coefficient has to be raised to that power, which basically, generally speaking, gives you absolutely, completely another answer. Alright, let's move to the next one. Say you have something like this, a squared times a cubed, and you need to simplify this expression. So sometimes people write a, so they keep this base, which is a, and they multiply powers, so they write 2 times 3. So in the right it equals a to the 6th power, which is completely, totally wrong. Instead of this, remember, when you have 2 indices and you need to multiply them, all it means that you need to keep the same base, which is a. So instead of doing this, you would write a. And all you need to do is just add this power, so 2 plus 3. So again, when it comes to multiplication of 2 indices with the same base, you want to keep the same base, you want to keep this common base, which is a in this case, and you want to add these powers. So 2 plus 3 gives you 5, so a to the 5th power. That's gonna be your correct final answer to this problem. So not to a to the 6th. So same applies for division. Say you have been given 2 indices and you need to divide them with the same base. So all you do is just keep the same base and you subtract, take off the indices. So say you have been given a to the, let's say, 5th power, and you need to divide by a to the, let's say, cubed. So all you do is just keep the same base, a, and 5 minus 3. That's going to be your new power, which simplifies to the second power. So a squared. So again, keep in mind that you have to have the same base. This rule basically applies, these two rules basically, sometimes called the product rule because you have multiplication, and quotient rule because you have division. So it only applies when you have the same base. My number 4 basically comes from this one. Say you have been given a to the cubed and you need to multiply by b to the second power. So sometimes people just write a and they add these powers, so 3 plus 2, and they write a to the 5th power, which is wrong because you are given 2 different bases, so a and b. And to be perfectly honest with you, this rule cannot be applied over here because, as I mentioned before, this product and quotient rule can be applied only if you are given the same base, the same number, the same letter, the same variable, whatever you are given. So in this case, you have 2 different letters. You have a and b. So you cannot, at this point, multiply these 2. Keep it in mind, different bases, these rules cannot be applied. And finally, the last 5th error or mistake that should be avoided at all costs. Say you need to evaluate 3 to the 0, so sometimes just people write 0, they see 0, and the right answer is 0, which is totally, completely wrong. So the correct answer is 1. So recall that any base, let's call it a, raised to the 0 power, by definition it's 1, it's not 0. So that rule just has to be memorized, has to be remembered as a separate rule. So anything to the 0 power is just 1. Alright, with this being said, I hope it has been helpful to you. And please avoid all of these mistakes and errors. They're widely popular among students and people. Just pay attention to these little things. Alright, huge thanks for watching and joining over. I know everyone hates maths, but if you like my video, please hit this like, share with your friends, leave the comments down below, and be sure to smash that subscribe button if you haven't, so you'll not miss out my new videos. What did I say?